Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. A couple things up front. If you are looking for t-shirts, hats, it'd be a lot cleaner hat than this one, or sweatshirts, there is a link down in the description for merchandise if you're interested. And then also there is also a list of some of the tools I use along with the laser that we're going to look at today. And yeah, so let's take a look at that, and we'll see how some of the features that this thing has and why I like this over some different ones out there. All right, let's take a look at this laser. I believe it's Elikli. Probably butchering that name, and I apologize. That they have a lot of other stuff on the Amazon site. If you go to the link on the Amazon, you can go to their store and see a lot of the things they have. So they did send this out to me to take a look at it and give my opinion on it. And I've been using it now for about 2 weeks, and haven't had extensive use on it as much as I'd like to, but I've been trying to get this so I can get this video out. So anyway, so what we come up with is we've got a small manual that kind of walks through everything. This is a 5-point laser, and it's got an IPF water and dust resistance to 54. And so we've got the laser, we've got this mounting bracket, which to me this is really nice, and I'll talk about that as we go along. And then you have your target. Typically I don't use the targets that often, but they do help. So let's take a look at the laser itself. It does use four AA batteries to power this, and then these lasers don't take a whole lot of power, so this would go a long time. I always keep AA batteries in the job site trailer or in my truck, so if I was ever out and needed something, I could do that. So we have a couple different buttons on here. We have a power button, we have a pulsating mode, and then on the side here we have a lock and unlock. So if we turn it on, now you can see here where I've got a cross. I go to again, it's just the horizontal, and this is just on the front face. I go again, now I've got just a vertical line on the front face. Do one more time. Now what I have is I have on the two sides here, the back, the top, and the bottom, I have a laser point. So to me, I like this laser point, especially the vertical and the vertical and on the low, going down and going up, is if you want to try to locate it in something into the center of a ceiling, and you know where you're going to have it on the floor, you can measure out into the middle of the floor or wherever you're going to put it. Drop this thing on the level, or you put it on a stand, and that's where this thing comes back in now. So this is bracket you can use, and I'm going to shut this off, and on the bottom, that laser comes out through here. And then on this, it's actually hollow. So I can put this on either a 5/8 or 1/4 inch tripod, and I can screw that onto there. I'm not going to do that, but I can screw that onto there, and then it will also transfer that point down onto the ground or below it and directly above it. So I can lay out from a wall and move over. So I need to know, maybe I'm not sure where I'm going to put a corner of a wall, so I can measure out from the outside, figure out where my point is, line this up with that point on the floor, and then it will go up. And now I know where I have a plumb line or plumb point from the floor all the way up to the ceiling, which a lot of times when I'm doing remodeling, you're doing that a lot of times. It's a lot easier to measure on the floor than it is on the ceiling. So that's one of the things I really like about this, amongst other things. I'll come back to this in here a second, but I just want to talk about this bracket that comes along with it. And actually, I am going to screw this on here. So, and you can just hear where that thing just snapped. It's got magnets on the backside here. So if you're have something metal, some scaffolding, some shelving or whatever, you can just click this on the wall, or you can use the tripod. So here's what a lot of times I struggle with is, we're going to go to, so this allows me, I'm just going to turn that, allows me, because it's adjustable, and I can turn this in small increments, and I can just move it ever so slightly. And that allows me to maybe line up with a wall or a point where I need to be 90 degrees or parallel or level with. Allows me to move that point around. It does have some different marks on here, so you could try to line that up, so you could actually get pretty close to a 90 degree turn. I wouldn't use that for that, but so that actually, I like that, because you can turn it. A lot of times on a tripod, these are stationary. You got to move your tripod, which is never works well. So anyway, but so yeah, so you've got on here, when I go into there's a lock position, and that allows me to tip it in either direction and locks the laser into that position. But when you do that, and that's the switch on the side here, it'll show up here as a red light, so that you don't inadvertently forget that you've locked this thing, turn it back on and think you've got a level line, and maybe it's close to level, but it's not, because it's in a locked in position. So one of the other features is nice, and I didn't really get a chance to use it, is it has a pulsating mode. And when you hit this, is my understanding, because I haven't tested it because I didn't have just didn't have an opportunity. What it'll do is, if I was going to do, now we've got a level line. So if I'm trying to shoot that line around, and I've got a receiver, which you can buy those too, you can line that receiver up and try to get that with the pulsating mode. If it's not in the pulsating mode, and I've got another laser that won't pick it up because it's not pulsating. So that's why my understanding is that's how this works, and I just didn't get a chance to test that out. So what else do we have? So like I said, we've got a vertical, we've got the points. So we've got, in this particular mode, the second one, we've got points going up and down, left, right, and off to one side. Now we've got a crosshair running on this side and all of our points this way. So if you're in the center of a room, you can work in a 360 degree direction with this. And you can just toggle through. So a lot of great features on this level. Like I said, I really like this base that comes with it, with the strong magnet. It's also got a hole on the side here. Oop, probably don't want to be dropping that around. If you put a screw into the wall, you could just hang this on the wall. It's got a spot where you could run a strap through here and strap this down to something. But once this is in position, again, you can go up and down. So if you want to set up a point vertically, you can, because of that hole underneath. You can strap this into place, and then you can start, especially if you're trying to do vertical lines around the room, you could do that pretty easily. So yeah, I've had a couple of different lasers. This one I really like, just because it's got some features that some of my other levels, laser levels didn't. So anyway, if you're interested, go ahead and check this out. There's links on down below in the description on this one, along with some other stuff. So till next time, have a good one.